Hello, Taurus rising. Welcome to your energy forecast for Scorpio season. My name is Chloe. I'm so glad you're here. I am a newer channel, so if you enjoy this content, I always appreciate your subscription, shares, likes, all of that. Training the algorithm, to show you more of my videos, right? So the tarot deck I'm going to be working with today is the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. Once again, this is a beautiful artistic deck by Lo Scarabeo. I was thinking for you, I know like I've before I do these videos, I do look at your whole sign chart. I pull a few cards and sense into what questions should we be asking for Taurus rising, so that I can deliver like the most concise and the most supportive insight for you in like a very short amount of time. Because like obviously, our attention spans, right? So for you, Taurus rising, it is the axis of the seventh and the first house that is activated for you during Scorpio season. The full moon will be in Taurus. That will be, of course, in your first house, releasing aspects of your identity that no longer resonate, that you've outgrown. And the sun in the new moon in Scorpio, of course, will be in your seventh house of partnership of the other. So for you, I do have it's interesting, like what's going on celestially right now. Of course, we have like these like this Mars Pluto aspect that's just like really really something we need to understand and cope with and really integrate before we can move on, right? Like anytime Mars and Pluto are an aspect, it's potentially tricky for us because of course we have like the god of war with the lord of the underworld and conversation opposing each other. um Mars at the last degree of Cancer, and Pluto at the last degree of Capricorn. So Capricorn and Cancer are sister signs. They're like opposites, right? So having these malefic energies, that's like, what we refer to them as, because they're not like, Jupiter and Venus or whatever, right? They can be tricky. This very like a warlike energy, and it's like at home and abroad, our public life and our private life. The feminine and the masculine, like Cancer and Capricorn axis is definitely important. So it makes me think about like for you and where this falls in your chart, and just like how you are processing things by growing who you are as a person, like allowing new identities to emerge, old identities to fall away, and of course, healing through relationships as well too. That's a big invitation for you this month. So, um, relying on community for support, relying on friends, on relying on partners for support. That's going to be yeah, definitely like a sweet spot for you, or like just, a warning as well too, because relationships and identity are what's highlighted for you, what's going to be coming up, that could be, feel activating, like, that you're being, potentially, attacked or whatever. But it's like, it's the stuff that, that wants to be looked at. It's the stuff that's asking you to look at it. And like, this won't happen again for another year. Scorpio, of course, Scorpio season always falls in your seventh house of relationships, and the Taurus full moon always falls in your first house of the self, of identity. So, I pulled some cards, just kind of like I had a bit of like a spread in mind for you, or like a way to ask questions that I would be able to, like I said, deliver this concisely, but also, in a quick amount of time. So I was asking for you, like, basically, like, what needs to die, or like what energy is departing, like very Sun and Scorpio vibes. What is it making room for? What energy are you calling in? What's happening next? And then how you can reconcile that, right? How you can, achieve the healing, the growth, the evolution that you are being invited to at this time. So as far as what's complete or the energy that needs to die, the energy that's on the way out, I have the King of Swords. So this is interesting because this is very much like an Aquarius card. So it has to do with like fixed mind and like mental evolution. So I'm thinking for you, like what they're telling me is like it is more about like a feel your feelings, and more emotional, more relational rather than just intellectual. So that definitely makes sense. Like the swords are element of air. Libra and the seventh house, of course, are associated with air. So when you're doing this work in your relationships this month, or with yourself, and allowing parts of your ego or your identity to fall away, um, it is very much like a relational task, and it is very much like more of an emotional task rather than just thinking like logically, like, does it make sense for me to act this way? Does it make sense for me to have, you know, these people in my life? Do I just believe these things because that's what I was told? But trying to go a bit deeper with like trusting your intuition. um and then for the energy that's coming in, let me see here. The energy coming in, I have for you the Knight of Pentacles. So this to me in this context really signifies, going after something that you want, something that's calling you in the material realm. So it's interesting that the elements are air and earth for you. It's like if you could stop thinking of for now, if you could stop thinking so hard and start feeling a little bit more, you will gain some sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to be like tacky on YouTube and like full moon crisis. Oh, what are we doing? What are we even doing, people? Right? Um, so creating that mental space is going to give you the space to go after new goals in the material realm. But yeah, this card is like definitely like financial security as well, or other forms of earth realm physical grounded security, which of course you're Taurus rising. You love that. I mean, we all do. We all want security. We all need foundation, right? So trusting the intuition, relying more on desire and emotion and less on like logical and intellectual, just like letting that go. The overthinking is going to make space to, like this card could represent even like getting a raise or being offered like a new contract. Like it does have those associations as well too. I just like, I know different people will watch this, and I have to try to make sure that I'm not like making certain guarantees because I'm like a very logical person in that sense, and this is going to like, play out in different ways for different people. But yeah, new contracts being offered, some form of financial abundance, that's a possibility as well. But thinking too about the moon being, in Taurus in your first house, like if you're allowing those parts of your identity to fall away, what is that going to make room for? Like, could you be rewarded like with material abundance? It's certainly possible. Like that's what the cards are saying. I just want to be clear that that's going to look different. Look different for everyone, right? And then how we're going to reconcile that, the energies of like what is leaving, overthinking, focusing too much on the logical, less on the intuitive, and what's coming in, some sort of change or opportunity in the material realm. For the reconciliation of those energies, we have the Fool for you. So the Fool's a great card because that's like I mean, it's very Uranian, very like unpredictable, but it also can be like jumping timelines too. So it's like one of those like expect the unexpected as well. So I would say what's going to support you from going into that like practical, into the more like emotional to receive this like really grounded abundance, you have to be open to it not looking not looking like you think it's going to look. Expecting the unexpected. So, like, the easiest way to embrace this cycle, 100% is just going to be if you can, like, relax the mind. They're telling me not to give you like too many steps or plan too far ahead, like that's not how this is going to work. If you can clear your mind, if you can tune into your emotions, if you can release some of this like overthinking, then the next steps are going to be revealed. It does mean, going after some sort of like new opportunity for security. So that's great. And of course, how you reconcile is like being down for whatever, being open to not knowing every step of the path. But the first step 100% is is that mental realm. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I'm so glad that you tuned in. I will see you, of course, in the Scorpio season collective energy forecast. If you would like more one-on-one support, I do or offer private readings. You can book that through my website. And I am going to be hosting another dark moon circle this month as well. So if you want to, work in close proximity, chat about the current astrology, pull some cards together, um, feel the support of the elements and the goddess. And as always, I'm in this season now of very much focusing on the healing and the releasing because we are often culturally, societally, we are, focusing more on accumulation and manifestation and growth. But we always need to be like emptying out and releasing what doesn't serve us and healing and resting. Definitely not enough focus on resting. So I would love to have you at the Dark Moon Circle. You can sign up. There's a link below if you're interested, or of course, send me a message if you have any questions. And I wish you a amazing Scorpio season, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Taurus rising.